Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Hoffman of EnlighteningLife.com, and in this little video I want to talk to you about the veil and why aliens and other beings and spirits and energies are out there hiding in plain sight. We can't see them, and I'm going to tell you why we can't see them and or haven't been able to see them in the past and why we can see them now. Yes, we have props. So first I want to pretend that this is us. This is like a human. This is a little, actually this is a little screen cleaner that I got from somebody. So let's talk about the veil. Well, the veil is the filter that is in place that keeps us in 3D, that separates humanity from other energies that are out there. So at first, we have this very big veil. Now, I want to say something about the veil. We think that we're all standing on one side of the veil, and here's the veil, and we're kind of standing on the other side, and whatever's behind here, we can't see it. That's technically partially true. There has been a veil like this. But truly, the veil is actually something that is each one of us has, because the veil is a filter. Call the veil a code. And if you like the movie The Matrix, you'll really understand that each of us is encoded with this ability to not see what's beyond the veil. And that has been true for us for many, many years. Now, the reason the veil is individual is because over many centuries there have always been people who could see beyond the veil, people who are very intuitive or very psychic, or people who are mediums, people who have like the ability to see other things, to communicate with spirits and guides. Those people don't have this thick of a veil and this big of a veil, but everyone has some aspect of the veil, and we know that because we can only see certain things. So here's the great part. So what happened is the veil has been lifted, but now we have a smaller veil. So yes, it's a dish towel. So we still have a veil, but it's not as big and it's smaller. So at times we can kind of see outside of the veil. We can kind of and it happens in various times, and it's not always predictable, but you've probably seen it in moments where you see out of the corner of your eye, you see something moving, or if you have pets, especially cats, you know that cats will stare at something that's kind of out in the periphery, and you look over there and you don't see anything. That's because your cat is aware of that energy, because cats are very spiritually connected, as are dogs too. So here we have a smaller veil, and we're beginning to become more aware of the world outside of us. We see more ETs, we see UFOs, we start hearing about aliens and things like that, and we start seeing things. You know, you're more aware of things. Like a few weeks ago, I posted about how I was sitting in my office and I saw these bright lights go across my desk in front of me, and I had the lights on. These lights were so bright that I noticed them, and I was kind of wondering what they were. Well, you know, being able to see things like that is part of the veil diminishing. But here's what else is going on. So now we still have a veil. We still have a veil, but now it looks something like this. So yeah, this is tulle. So now we have this veil, and it's more like this tiny little bit of a veil. So we still have the veil because that's part of our encoding, but we can see, and as we increase in awareness, we remove layers of the veil until, you know, we're kind of like this. We still have the veil, so we're still not really out of the veil times, but we are out of this heavy, dense, huge veil that's completely unpenetrable. So we still have some aspects of this that's preventing us from truly connecting to our guides and our angels and whatever else is out there. But we can, you know, it's like we're looking through a screen door. You can see through it, but you can't see really clearly, and it's hard to really define. So you may be able to see more and more of what's going on outside the veil, because it's not necessarily coming more towards us. We're actually removing layers of this veil that allow us to see what's really out there and what's really going on beyond the veil. And there's a ton of stuff going out there. So the more that we release the veil, and again, this is an individual process. So you may be at this point where you have this little transparent veil, and you're so excited because you're starting to see things and you're starting to be aware, and you go and you tell your friend or your family, and they're looking at you because this is their veil. Now, everybody doesn't release their veil at the same time. A mass of people, as is happening right now, can decrease the size and the transparency of their veil with a big awakening, like learning about aliens or Antarctica or seeing UFOs or big things that are happening in the news now, a lot of people are starting to doubt that this veil is very good for them, and to doubt the ability of being locked behind this veil. They are starting to realize that, hey, this veil can come off, and I can actually take my own veil off. So when people take off their veil, the reason that it doesn't just go, ta-da, okay, veil's off, now we can see everything, is because we would be so overwhelmed by what we could see if the veil was completely gone. And that's why the veil comes off in stages. And so the person that you think is so deeply grounded in 3D, that can't see anything, that doesn't understand spirituality, they go from having this very huge, dense veil to something a little smaller. And maybe it's something you told them or something that happened in their lives, and or they watch a video on YouTube, or they have this realization one day that, hey, there's something beyond this. So they go to a smaller veil, and then as they learn more, they start kind of really, releasing some of this other veil, and then the other veil gets thinner, and then they start wanting, and that's the important part, that's the operative word, is they have to want to do this. It has to be something that they see benefits them in some way. And for a lot of people, especially if they have past life memories of persecution and traumatization because of being spiritual and of being able to see beyond the veil, they're going to have to take a little bit more time. But what's happening to everyone is we're seeing this mass removal of the big veil, because so many people are at various stages. So get encouraged and inspired by other people who are removing their veil. This is why it's so important to be that light beacon where you're enjoying yourself and doing cool stuff, so that people see that and they get inspired to remove their own veil. So to kind of recap, there has kind of been a mass veil over all of humanity, but that's been gone for a long time. That's probably been gone for a good 15, 20 years. So what's happening is we are reducing the size and also the density of the veil, and it happens in stages. So as we reduce the size of our veil, we start thinking, I wonder what else is out there. So then we have a smaller veil. Again, we're still in the veil stage, but that's happening pretty quickly too. And then the more comfortable we get with the reality we see that's beyond the veil and our ability to connect to it, the easier it becomes for us to have confidence to remove more and more layers of the veil, until one day, and that's probably not too far off, we'll be standing there with no veil, and we will fully interact with all dimensions, all beings, all energies that have always been in plain sight, that have always been standing right here. But it doesn't matter what's standing right in front of you. If you've got, like the equivalent of a tablecloth on your head, you're not going to be able, you can't see anything. You can't interact with it because you can't see it. You're not aware of it. You're only aware of what's under your veil or inside that veil. So as we become more spiritually aware, more conscious of ourselves as spiritual beings and as energy containers and as energetic beings, the easier it becomes for us to remove little aspects of our veil, until finally we have a confidence and the ability to stand here with no veil, and that day is not far off. So I hope this is helpful to you. Let's take those veils off, because we've got a lot to discover about our world, our universe, our galaxy, and the cosmic community that we're part of. This is Jennifer Hoffman of EnlighteningLife.com, and I hope this video is helpful. Thanks for watching.